We begin here, not with fear or condemnation, but with an invitation to look deeper. You have heard the whispers, haven't you? The stories that there are those chosen, marked, and set apart, and that Lucifer's name, cloaked in mystery and shadows, holds truths that are not what they seem. But let me ask you something. What if everything you have been told about Lucifer was only one side of the story? What if the truths hidden in his name are not meant to bind you in fear, but to awaken something ancient within you? We are not here to stumble blindly into dogma or tradition. Together, we are going to uncover the layers of this mystery, and by the end of it, you will feel the weight of its connection to your very existence. You and I, we are seekers. We look past the surface. And to understand the truth of the chosen ones and the role Lucifer plays in this cosmic drama, we must first confront the discomfort of unlearning. Unlearning what we think we know, unlearning what the world has told us to believe. You see, Lucifer, in the oldest of texts, was not painted as a villain. He was the light bearer, the one who dared to bring illumination.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
The question we must ask ourselves is, why is that light feared? Why is it condemned? And more importantly, why does it feel so personal when we hear his name? Could it be that the story of Lucifer is a mirror, a reflection of the parts of ourselves we are too afraid to face? If you are still here, it means something in you is stirring. Maybe it's a quiet voice you've tried to silence, or a calling you've tried to ignore. That calling is the mark of the chosen. The chosen are not special because they are better or more worthy. They are chosen because they are awake enough to feel the pull of something greater. And here's the secret: Lucifer's rebellion, his so-called fall, was not about defiance for its own sake. It was about freedom. It was about choice. And isn't that the very thing you crave the most? To break free from the chains of expectation, from the molds the world has tried to force you into? To choose your own path, even if it means walking through shadows? But let me warn you, freedom is not comfort. Freedom is not ease. The chosen ones are not those who are handed everything, but those who are willing to lose everything to find their truth. And this is where Lucifer's story becomes your story. Think about it. How many times have you felt cast out, misunderstood, or judged for choosing differently? How many times have you felt the weight of the world's expectations crushing your spirit, only to feel a spark inside you that refuses to be extinguished? That spark, my friend, is the light. It is the very thing Lucifer represents, the light that refuses to die, even when the world calls it darkness. Now, I want you to pause and ask yourself this: what is the one thing you are most afraid to lose? Is it your reputation, your comfort, your sense of belonging? The chosen ones are those who are willing to lose what they think they need to discover what they truly are. And here's the paradox: Lucifer's truths are not about worshiping darkness. They are about embracing the whole of yourself, the light and the shadows, the beauty and the pain. Because only when you embrace the totality of your being can you truly be free. Think about this: why do we fear the darkness? Is it because it is inherently evil, or is it because it forces us to confront what we cannot see? The darkness is not the enemy, it is the unknown. And the chosen ones are those brave enough to walk into the unknown, not because they want to escape the light, but because they know the light is born from the darkness. Just as the stars shine brightest in the night sky, your light shines brightest when you face your shadows. But here's where it gets deeper. Lucifer's story, as it has been told, is a story of separation, a fall from grace, a descent into chaos. But what if that fall was not a punishment but a choice? What if the fall was the ultimate act of love, a willingness to descend into the depths to bring light where it is most needed? And what if that is your calling too? To descend, to fall, not in the sense of failure, but in the sense of surrender. To surrender to the truth of who you are, even if it means letting go of everything you thought you were supposed to be. You see, the chosen ones are not chosen because they are perfect. They are chosen because they are willing to question, willing to seek, willing to fall and rise again, over and over, until they remember that they were never truly lost. And this is the secret truth of Lucifer. He is not the adversary of humanity. He is the adversary of illusion. He is the one who challenges us to see beyond appearances, beyond labels, beyond fear. And isn't that what you've been feeling all along? That pull to look deeper, to see more, to know more. That pull is not random. It is the mark of the chosen. But let me ask you this, are you ready? Are you ready to let go of the stories you've been told about who you are and what you are here to do? Are you ready to face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding? Because the truth is, being chosen is not a gift. It is a responsibility to awaken, to rise, and to carry the light, even when it feels like the world is shrouded in darkness. This is where we begin. We begin with the realization that Lucifer's truths are not meant to separate us from the divine, but to remind us that the divine is within us. That we are not here to follow blindly, but to choose consciously. That we are not here to be perfect, but to be whole. And as we continue this journey together, we will go deeper into these truths, uncovering the layers of what it means to be chosen, to carry the light, and to walk the path of freedom. Let's cut through the noise. What makes you so afraid to step into the parts of yourself that the world has taught you to reject? What is it about the darkness inside you that feels so untouchable? You've been told to suppress it, to fight it, to bury it deep under layers of guilt and expectations. But here's the truth, no one wants to admit the parts of you that you've been told to silence. Your anger, your desires, your fears are not your enemy. They are your power. And the chosen ones, the ones who change everything, know this. They don't run from their darkness because they understand one simple thing: without the shadow, there is no light. Lucifer's story is not about rebellion for rebellion's sake. It's about owning the parts of existence that others fear to touch. When he fell, he didn't fall because he hated the light. He fell because he saw the truth that the light alone is incomplete. Think about that for a moment. We live in a world addicted to perfection, to this idea that to be worthy we must only show our bright, shiny selves. But deep down you know that's not real. You know that the most transformative moments in life don't come from pretending you're fine. They come from standing in the mess, the chaos, the rawness of who you are, and not flinching. The chosen ones have always been misunderstood because they refuse to play by the rules that keep everyone else comfortable. They don't hide their darkness, and in doing so, they make others uncomfortable. And let's be honest, that's terrifying, isn't it? To be seen in your entirety without the mask, without the filters. But isn't there a part of you that's tired of pretending? Tired of constantly editing yourself to fit into a world that was never designed for you in the first place? You've felt it, haven't you? That pull to break away from the script, to stop performing and just be. But here's the catch: being real means facing the parts of yourself you've been running from. It means admitting that you are not just the light. You are the shadow too. And that's not a flaw, it's the design. Lucifer's truths are not about glorifying darkness for its own sake. They are about integration, about realizing that you cannot claim your full power until you stop cutting yourself in half. Let me put it this way. You've been taught to believe that the shadow is where you hide your shame. But what if it's where you've hidden your strength? What if all the parts of you that feel too wild, too much, too dangerous are not there to hurt you but to set you free. Think about the moments in your life when you felt truly alive. Were they the moments when you were playing it safe, following the rules, staying small? Or were they the moments when you dared to step into the unknown, to speak the truth even when your voice shook, to risk everything for what you believed in? The chosen ones are not chosen because they are fearless. They are chosen because they feel the fear and move anyway. They walk into the shadow not to get lost in it, but to find what's been buried there. And this is where Lucifer's story becomes your story again. He didn't fall to destroy the light. He fell to bring light to the places where it had never been. And that's your task too, isn't it? To bring light not just to the easy parts of life, but to the places that scare you the most. Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is not the problem. The problem is what you do with it. Most people use fear as a reason to stop, to shrink, to retreat. But the chosen ones know something different. Fear is not there to stop you, it's there to point you to the places where you have the most to gain. The places where your true power is waiting for you to claim it. And the truth is, the things you fear the most are often the things that hold the key to your freedom. Not because they are your enemies, but because they are your teachers. Lucifer's rebellion wasn't about destruction. It was about freedom. And freedom is terrifying because it demands that you take responsibility for your own life. It means you can't blame the world or your past or anyone else for where you are. It means you have to own your choices, your desires, your power. And that's why most people run from it. Because it's easier to stay in the cage, to follow the rules, to live a life that's small and safe. But you're not here for easy, are you? You wouldn't still be listening if you were. The chosen ones are the ones who are willing to burn, to let go of everything they think they are, so they can become who they were always meant to be. And that's not a metaphor. It's a process. It's messy and uncomfortable, and it will break you open in ways you can't predict. But it's also the only way to live a life that's real, a life that's yours. And this is the secret most people don't understand about Lucifer's story. The fall is not the end. It's the beginning. It's the moment you stop pretending and start living. The moment you stop running from yourself and start facing everything you are with open eyes. But let's get real for a moment. None of this is easy. Facing your shadow means confronting the parts of yourself that you don't want to admit exist. It means admitting that you are capable of anger, of jealousy, of fear. But it also means admitting that you are capable of courage, of passion, of love, so fierce it changes everything it touches. And that's the paradox of being chosen. You are not chosen because you are perfect. You are chosen because you are willing to be whole. Lucifer's truths are not about rejecting the divine. They are about remembering that the divine is not something outside of you. It is something within you. Something that cannot be taken away, no matter how far you fall, no matter how lost you feel. And that's the ultimate truth of the chosen ones. You are not chosen because you are separate from the divine. You are chosen because you are the divine in human form, waking up to itself. So here's the question that matters. What are you going to do with that truth? Are you going to keep running from it, hiding from it, pretending it's not there? Or are you going to step into it, even if it scares you? Even if it means letting go of everything you thought you needed to hold on to? Because the truth is, the only thing standing between you and the life you were meant for is your own fear. And the moment you stop letting that fear control you, everything changes. Pain is inevitable, but what you do with it is what defines you. Everyone feels it: the sting of betrayal, the ache of loss, the weight of rejection. But most people spend their lives running from it, numbing it, pretending it's not there. And here's the difference: the chosen ones don't run. They don't numb. They don't pretend. They take that pain and turn it into something else. They let it shape them, refine them, strengthen them. They know that pain isn't the end of the story, it's the beginning of transformation. Think about it. Every time you've grown, every time you've become more than you were before, hasn't there been pain? Growth isn't clean. It's not neat or pretty. It's raw. It tears you apart before it puts you back together. And that's why most people avoid it. They'd rather stay the same than face the fire. But the chosen ones know better. They know that fire doesn't just destroy, it also forges. The strongest steel is made in the hottest flames, and the same is true for you. Lucifer's story is a perfect example of this. His fall wasn't just a descent into darkness, it was a descent into truth. When everything was stripped away, when the comfort, the certainty, the approval of others was gone, what was left? Himself. And that's the secret no one talks about. Pain strips away everything false. It doesn't care about your masks or your titles or the image you project to the world. It cuts straight to the core of who you are. And that's terrifying, isn't it? To be left with nothing but yourself. But it's also liberating. Because when the illusions are gone, what's left is real. The chosen ones don't fear the fire because they know it's the only way to find out what they're made of. They don't ask, why me when life gets hard? They ask, what can I do with this pain? Isn't a punishment. It's an opportunity. It's the universe asking you how badly you want what you say you want. Do you want freedom? Do you want truth? Do you want to live a life that's real? Then prove it. Step into the fire and let it burn away everything that isn't you. But let's not romanticize this. The fire hurts. It's brutal. It will break you in ways you didn't think you could break. It will take you to your knees and make you question everything. And that's the point. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. Change doesn't happen in safety. The chosen ones are not chosen because they are stronger or braver or better. They are chosen because they are willing to face what others won't. They are willing to be broken open because they know that's the only way to become whole. Lucifer's truths are not about avoiding pain, but about using it. He didn't fall to escape the fire, he fell to master it. And that's your task too. To take the pain, the loss, the fear, and turn it into power, not by ignoring it or denying it, but by facing it head on. By letting it teach you, shape you, transform you. Pain is a teacher, but only if you're willing to listen. Most people aren't. They let their pain make them bitter, resentful, small. But the chosen ones let it make them stronger, wiser, more alive. There's a phrase people like to say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But that's not always true, is it? Pain doesn't automatically make you stronger. It can break you if you let it. The difference is in how you respond to it. Do you let it crush you, or do you let it carve you into something new? Do you let it close your heart, or do you let it open you wider? The chosen ones understand this. They don't fight the fire, they surrender to it. Not in defeat, but in trust. Trust that the fire knows what it's doing. Trust that the pain has a purpose. You've felt it, haven't you? The way pain changes you. The way it strips away the parts of you that aren't real. The way it forces you to let go of what you thought you couldn't live without. And when it's over, when the fire has run its course, you're left with something you didn't have before: clarity, strength, freedom. Pain doesn't just take, it gives, but only if you're willing to let it. The chosen ones are not afraid of the dark because they know that's where the fire burns the brightest. They don't avoid their shadows because they know that's where the truth lives. And this is where Lucifer's story becomes your story again. His fall wasn't just a descent, it was a transformation, a death and a rebirth. And that's what pain is. It's a kind of death. The death of who you thought you were, the death of what you thought you needed. But every death is also a birth. And the chosen ones know this. They don't fear death because they know it's the only way to become who they're meant to be. But let's get honest. Most people don't want this. They don't want to face the fire, the shadow, the pain. They want comfort. They want easy answers. They want someone else to do the hard work for them. And that's fine. That's their choice. But you're still here. You're still listening. And that means something. It means there's a part of you that knows you were made for more. A part of you that refuses to settle for a life that's less than what you're capable of. The fire is calling you. Not because it wants to hurt you, but because it wants to free you. Free you from the lies you've been told about who you are. Free you from the fear that keeps you small. Free you from the need to be anything other than what you are. And that's the ultimate truth of the chosen ones. They are not chosen because they are special. They are chosen because they choose. They choose to face the fire. They choose to own their shadows. They choose to take their pain and turn it into power. Lucifer's truths are not about worshiping the fire, they are about mastering it, learning to stand in it without being consumed, learning to use it to burn away what no longer serves you. And that's what it means to be chosen. It means you stop running from the hard stuff and start facing it. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Because you know that on the other side of the fire is the life you were meant to live. So here's the real question. Are you willing to let the fire do its work? Are you willing to let it break you open so it can put you back together? Are you willing to let it burn away the lies so you can finally see the truth? Because that's what it means to be chosen. It's not a gift, it's not a prize, it's a choice. And it's yours to make.